Yep, we live. Yeah, we live it. So, welcome everyone. This is Mobolaji here, reaching out to you from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm sure you guys must have been waiting for our special guest. Okay, like we usually do. We try to empower people. We try to change the mindset with our various special guests, and we have an amazing friend and an amazing personality all the way from South Africa.
Yeah.
By the name Nolan, and I've known Nolan for quite some time. But before I go into the full details, let me try to share some of this session across our various networks. So I want to share this into the GBY network. Yeah. So let me just try to share this. I'm sharing this across. So let me share this to the group, to our various networks, so nobody misses out. Then on my personal page as well. Then let me share this to Nolan, have you shared it to your group? Or what's the name of your group again?
No, I haven't. It's not on my group as yet.
Okay, let me share with.
I did share the link though, but not.
Okay, let me just send you the link. I'll send you the link shortly, so you can. Yeah, so that's the link. Then let me see. I can also share it. Let me just share it into your group.
Okay.
Just hold on for a minute. Let me share it. Okay, I'm almost there. Okay, yeah. Let's resume. So let me see it. Okay. So I've shared it into your. Okay, it's just awaiting for admin to accept. Okay.
Okay. Let me just accept it quickly.
Okay.
Approve. Perfect. Done.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So awesome. So welcome once again. Okay. So welcome once again to today's session. Okay, and I have an incredible friend here and an incredible personality all the way from South Africa in the name of Nolan. Okay, and I've known Nolan for quite some time. How many years now? Like, is it 7 years or 6 years,
yeah,
Nolan?
but 6 or 7 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. We're once in two ventures. Okay, and after that, we stayed connected. So we decided to chase our passion, and Nolan will be sharing part of his passion with you guys. And something I would love you guys to do is I would love you to get your pen and your paper ready, because you are going to learn a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and insight from Nolan, because he has gone through a lot. If you see some of the write-up I did, against his personality, there's more to it, but that is just a tip of the iceberg. Okay, so I would love to welcome Nolan once again to today's session. Welcome, Nolan.
Thank you so much, Mobalaji, and thank you for the opportunity as well. Good afternoon to all our viewers. It's so good to be here, finally reconnecting with my dear friend in Nigeria, all the way in Lagos. So thank you for the opportunity. I am grateful to be speaking to you today.
Okay, so awesome. So like when we're talking backstage, like the picture behind you. Can you just say something about the picture behind you? I know a bit of story behind you, but probably if you because that's Nolan behind. Okay, and where is that, Nolan?
So
where is that?
That was in June last year when we attempted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So it was an exciting journey. If you look clearly in the back, there's some huge white blocks. These are actually ice blocks that were in there. So part of the course was we were climbing a mountain together with Sima, my wife, and the whole idea behind the mountain was the climbing of the mountain was to raise funds for girls in rural areas to have access to sanitary pads. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the aim was to raise funds for girls to raise sanitary pads for them. Which of the what aspect of the African continent were you targeting in terms of the girls?
So currently, because it was done with the Trek for Mandela, we were targeting South Africa, but I do know there's plans to roll it out throughout Africa as well.
Okay, awesome. So what inspired you really to select Mount Kilimanjaro out of the entire mountains or places you can visit?
That's a good question, right? So climbing Mount Kilimanjaro has been on my bucket list for a few years. And, you know, it was something that I wanted to do. And at first I was scared of this mountain. And then when this opportunity came around and I realized I'm doing it for someone else, which is the girls, then it just reinforced my why. And I said, well, there's no doubt I got to do this mountain. And that's what motivated me and inspired me to do it. And I must tell you, Mount Kilimanjaro, one may think is an easy mountain to climb, but it's not as easy as you think. Especially when you 6 kilometers or 6,000 meters above sea level, where you're above the clouds.
Whoa. And what was the experience like? Was it that you couldn't breathe, or you are feeling lighter, or
yeah?
What was the experience like?
So you do feel lighter because of the climate. You need to acclimatize, right? So when you reach that high of any mountain, you're only allowed to be there for a maximum of 15 minutes before you start coming down. Because what happens is, if you stay there longer, you'll start losing oxygen. And when your oxygen levels drop, there's a possibility that you could die. So the risk factor of climbing a mountain is not as simple, right? So there's a lot of things you need to take into consideration. But like I said, every time I went further on this mountain, I kept thinking about the girls and helping them. And that's what inspired me to say, you know what, keep at it. Just keep doing it.
Okay. So you wanting to help the girl got you going, and I'm sure it's part of what actually makes you relate to the mantra behind you that says you must find that place inside of yourself where nothing is impossible. Exactly. In your heart, in your brain, okay, you need to believe that nothing is impossible. Would you like to share with the audience more about that?
Well, it's a simple mindset thing, right? So we all need to recognize that who else is in control of our minds beside ourselves? So if you keep telling yourself or your mind that I cannot do A, B, and C, guess what? You're never going to do A, B, and C. But the moment you start changing your mindset and saying to yourself, I can climb this mountain, I can open up my own business, I can do A, B, and C, you will get to do it automatically because you are programming your mind to actually do this. Now, let's be honest here, right? We all come from a background where our mindsets were conditioned when we were growing up. You know, conditioned in a sense, me being in South Africa, I know a lot of people at one stage used to tell me, hey, you're useless, you can't do anything. Now, when people say that into your mind, you start believing that you're useless. You start believing you're worthless. You start believing you cannot do this. But with a little bit of self-development and starting to understand you better, you start to recondition your mind. And this is the power of you as an individual. I keep saying, and I refer back to this picture, everybody is climbing their own mountains. We owe it to ourselves. Yeah. We owe it really to ourselves to do whatever it takes to make our life a success. Live a purposeful life. That's the beauty of life. Living purposefully.
Okay, awesome. So basically, the society, if I hear you well, the society has created a sort of system that is not encouraging. And because so many souls are established or are born into this system, they believe that they cannot achieve their dreams. So what I hear you say now is you need to work on your mind, You need to work on your heart. You need to reset your mind and recondition your mind at believing that nothing, in as much as it's a dream, you can bring it to reality, right? Yeah. So when it comes to the challenge that I see personally is that most people are stuck because they don't have that helping hand to drag them out of the darkness and into light, to letting them see what they believed never existed. So would you like to actually shed more light into that as to what the audience out there that are sort of stuck? You know, definitely some people have been stuck for probably 3, 4, 5, 10 years. They have a dream, but they don't know how to go about it. Yeah. What do you think they can actually do? Because from your own story, okay, everybody, like you mentioned earlier on, everybody has got their own mountain to climb, okay? Yeah. But what do you think people can do that can get them to go beyond themselves, to get them started at climbing their own mountains? What actually helped you out that you feel you can share with Africa and the world at large?
That's powerful, right? And I'll be in Africa, we need this more than ever. And especially amongst us blacks, right? We all come with this limiting mindset. So, you know, limiting beliefs where we want to do something, but because of fear and procrastination, we tend not to do it. And when we tend not to do it, our mindset just puts us automatically back into a comfort zone where we feel that, okay, everything's fine. There's no fear. I'm not scared of anything. I'm happy to earn a salary every single month. I'm happy to pay for someone else's house. I'm happy to pay for the CEO's car. So the problem that we have is people have too many limiting beliefs within themselves. But in saying they have limiting beliefs, believe me, the potential that they have is unbelievable. All they need to do is get guidance on how to come out from the shell and how to start chasing their dreams and start living a life that is purposeful. Now, this starts with values, right? Our value system is really important. Our core values, like what we really believe in, that's so important in determining where you want to go as a person. So for example, my strong values, I'm a very ethical person. I have a lot of integrity with me. I believe a lot in humanity. Now, because I believe in all of this, it drives me to focus more on humanity and helping other people to understand themselves better. And not only themselves, to understand other races, religions, and cultures more. Because if you think about humanity, right, when we start going deeper, imagine if we all understood each other. What a peaceful world we'll have. Yeah. We'll get on like a house on fire, sure. Right? So to me, it's all limiting beliefs. And if anyone's looking, you know, for guidance, because you cannot do this overnight, it's a process. It took me many, many years. But the key to going forward in anyone's life, to all the viewers, it's to take action. Take that first step. Seek guidance. Look for a mentor. Look for a coach. Look for somebody who's walked this journey and now is willing to help you on your journey. So it reminds me of something else I keep saying. A lot of people, I say this to everyone I come across, life does not have to end where you are. Now, let's look at Lagos.
Fantastic word. Yeah. Yeah, I love that last line. Life does not have to end where you are. And I was about to ask you a question, but you already answered the question because I had you mention seek guidance twice, and eventually you're able to answer the question by saying look for coaches, look for mentors, look for people that sort of get you inspired. They don't need to, they don't have to be people you know. You can actually know them from afar. Like my very good friend here, Nolan, I haven't met him in person, but it's like we have met in person. Okay? No thanks to our connection, because for me, it's all about you go beyond yourself. For him, it's all about be a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
He's an SAP expert, okay, which I just got to know, okay? And I'm an SAP expert as well. Yeah. Okay, so he's an African and I'm African. We have flair and passion for humanity. It's all about the impact and trying to get people to get better at what they feel is their dream and is their passion. Okay, and if you guys don't know who Nolan is, Nolan actually started from a very poor background. Would you believe that he started from a very poor background? Would you believe that he almost took his own life? Where then did he get all the positivities from? Okay, so let's try to use this to inspire ourselves, so getting us off our butts, and like Nola mentioned, okay, taking that first step. So talking about your humble background, Nolan, how did it start? What was like the furthest thing that you remember about your background when you were a child, when you were still little, when you still from your poor humble background? Okay, what can you remember? And probably if you would love to share with us.
Sure, very touching. So it started way back, as I remember, when I was about 10 years old. So every morning, my mom used to wake up in the mornings and make samosas. You know, for anyone that doesn't know, it looks like a triangle. It's got some goodies in it. So she used to wake up in the morning, and myself, together with my siblings, we used to go from one house to the next to try and sell these. Now, the reason why we were selling these delicacies was so that we could have money to buy bread and have food for the day. If we didn't make a sale, it just meant simply there was no food, right? So some other childhood memories. I remember as a young boy studying with a candle, that small candle. And it wasn't through load shedding. It was because we couldn't afford to buy electricity. You know, another thing that stands out with me and came alive when I was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, we used to have, we used to brush our teeth on the outside, be it rain or shine, in a small little bowl like this with cold water. I mean, now people have luxuries of basins, etc. But we used to use a small bowl like this with just cold water brushing our teeth. When we were doing Kilimanjaro, we used exactly the same type of bowl again.
Oh,
brought back
yeah. So it just brought back memories.
Yeah, yeah, and amazing memories. It was really amazing memories. So you know, so that was part of my childhood. And then as we go on further, I was in grade 8, I think. Yeah, and I got a job as a PA. Now, PA doesn't mean personal assistant, right? It's a petrol attendant, aka Bowser boy. So I was a guy filling petrol in people's cars, checking their tire pressure, changing their oil, washing the windscreen, etc. But I was grateful in Mobology. I was grateful that I had a job. I was grateful I was getting some salary. I was grateful that salary was going to help us in our home. Another job that I did as well that I'm not ashamed of, and this is where my authenticity comes in place. I'm not ashamed to say anybody where I come from and what I did. On our main road in KZN, in my town, Pietermaritzburg, I used to be standing on the streets and holding up like a biscuit container and saying, Mabili biscuit 2, Mabili biscuit 2. So what this means is actually Zulu. What it actually means is 2 for the price of 1. And you're screaming out into the city center. And you know what? I did it. I did it. And if I look back now, this is where all these values that I have now have come from. It's taught me to be who I am, appreciative, grateful, not taking anything for granted, and working hard for whatever you want. Because let's be honest, right? Nobody's going to come and give you anything on a silver platter. You got to work hard for it. You got to put in the time. Right? If life was so easy, it would be boring, man. Life has to be adventurous.
Yeah. So something I love about what you mentioned now is sort of created a sort of connection with me, because when I was little, okay, I'd even forgotten, you know, my dad had a discussion with someone and was telling that person about me when I was little, okay. So when he wanted to build his house, okay, he got this land, but it was a swampy land. So he told that person that I always tell him that buy sand and I'm going to fill the entire land. And that was what I did. I never cared as a kid. I never cared about what people thought about me. But what I had in my head was the vision to fill that swampy land up with sand. So what my dad would do would be that he would buy like clay sand, and he will just go and dump them on the land swamp area, I will take wheelbarrow, like wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
I will take it there. I will take shovel, I'll be filling it and I'll be pouring it into the swampy area. I was seeing different types of creatures within the swampy area, but I didn't care. But I was just so for me, it was all about the vision, all about the target. Because, like you said, nobody will come around and give you anything on the platter of gold. One, two, nobody, will appreciate you at the beginning, but at the end of the day, they are going to see what you have actually accomplished, no matter how small or no matter how big.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing that you also mentioned that I sort of love is your authenticity. You being authentic, you being real, and you being appreciative. And gratitude is so important. Like in my own religion, I'm a Muslim, okay? Every day you need to keep saying Alhamdulillah, meaning that you are giving all praises to Almighty for even giving you good health, being able to see, being able to hear, being able to smell, being able to talk, being able to sleep, and being comfortable with your being. You have to show gratitude, because if you don't show gratitude, okay, there's a way the universe rewards you with something bigger. Okay, so it is so crucial when you mention that, authenticity, gratitude, don't wait for anyone to come and spoon feed you. So those are very, very powerful words right there.
Yeah. No, great.
So, yeah. So the other thing that, because I'm trying to look at, because your stories are really, you guys need to go check out his story. The website again is tradetalkwithnolan.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So amazing story. So tell me, okay, I want to ask this. During your journey from the beginning, you never had so much access to formal education. So how were you able to transition from, let me use that word in quotes, an illiterate to a literate with great personality in South Africa? Okay, how were you able to transition? Because every traditional African, every traditional person would have given up that, oh, why am I born into this family? Why am I giving birth to into this society? It's all over for me. But you took it upon yourself, okay, to learn, coachable, to make you become what you are right now. So can you just share a bit as to how you're able to transition from the so-called illiterate, from a poor background, but the humble beginning, into what you've become right now?
Wow. So it wasn't easy at all. So firstly, I think I want to start off here, go back to my metric here. So that was a very painful time for me. So me being in school, I was a sportsman of the year for 5 years in a row. I believed that I had everything together. I really believed that I was this bright person. I was intelligent in school, and I got everything together. But lo and behold, I failed my metric year. And when I failed my metric year, I was so embarrassed about it. I was so embarrassed what society or what our community is going to think of me. That's how naive I was back then. I was more focused on what other people saw in me or what they believed in me. So God was on my side. And I came out of it. I survived the attempted suicide. And that very same year, why I say God was on my side is I started a job as a packer and a sweeper in a factory. This was the biggest gift ever, because it took my mind off the suicide attempt and it got me focusing on working. Now, 6 months into this job, I had something like a vision, right? It was like a voice that asked me a question. Nolan, is this where you want to be for the rest of your life? And the immediate answer that went back was no. And this is when I started to realize that I got so much more going for me. I can do so much more. So guess what I did, Mobalaji? I decided to work overtime. I started working on weekends. I started working 12-hour shifts. All the money that I got from that, I wasn't taking it and putting it into having a party every weekend. I started putting it into self-study. I started building myself up. And I did this right up until last year. In fact, up till today, I still believe a lot in self-development, and I invest in it because this is what we need. You need self-development on a continuous basis. Now, going back to that 6 months later into the job, when I started self-study, I did like a production management diploma, purchasing management diploma. And guess what? I was acing these programs or these courses that I was doing. And I surprised myself and I realized, wow, there's still so much more. And you mentioned that I'm SAP certified. Forward wind like till the year 2001. I realized that I was a SAP user at the company I worked for. Why not become a SAP consultant? Yet again, in South African terms, it costed me, this is in 2002, right? It was going to cost me to go into the academy like 60,000 Rand, which was a lot. So I did inquiries and I realized to write the exam, it was going to cost me like 2,500 Rands. But what it entails is all the hard work that I need to put in. So remember, I had a day job, which was 8 till about 5. I did that every single day. I came home, did a bit of exercise, supper, and then every night without fail, from 8 till 11, 12 at night, I studied towards my SAP certification. So I self-studied for that and I got my certification. And when I became a SAP certified consultant, it just elevated me. It just got me higher, because every time I just upgraded myself. I keep saying to people, right, here's what people need to realize. There's so many people out there that would rather upgrade a cell phone, pay all the money to upgrade a cell phone and get the latest cell phone. Why don't you use the same money and upgrade yourself? Are you not important enough to upgrade yourself? So focus on yourself and upgrade yourself on a continuous basis. So to answer your question, it's all about self-development, focusing on you. We all are unique. We all have so much of potential within us. We need to explore it. We need to explore ourselves and dig deeper and go after all those dreams, all those fantasies that you once thought you cannot achieve.
Yeah. So very key words, because we have so many in common that I didn't even know. Because like something I learned today, I think, was it today or yesterday? It says nobody's better than you. We are just different and we are just unique. So know that. So even if you are seeing someone that looks flashy to you, just know that that person is different from you and is only good at his or her own distinction. Okay, so talking about the suicide attempt that he almost made, similar thing happened not to me, but to a kid. I actually did a video on it, I think last year or year before last year, to a kid where I usually pray, whereby the kid actually failed his exam and he went missing for almost maybe a week. The entire members of our worship areas were all looking for that child. Eventually, when he was found, I had to have a one-on-one with the kid to say, hey, why did you do what you did? Why did you have to run away from home? So he was actually giving it to the approval of others. He was getting addicted to the approval of others simply because he failed his exam. He couldn't hold the shame of what the society will feel about him. That was why he ran away. He could have even done something nasty, but thank God he only attempted to run away from home. So I was able to convince him. I was able to talk to him. Alhamdulillah, thank God. Okay. And when he now had to resit for the exam, guess what? He got tons and loads of distinctions.
Wow.
And part of what I had to set before him, I was able to set a bit of financial reward for him to say, you know what? You don't have to run away. Guess what I'm going to do for you? If you are able to do this just to pass, that's all I need from you. This is what you get. So the focus for him was what he would get. So he walked towards it. So each time I was going to the mosque, I was always seeing him behind the corner. He won't see me studying, reading. And guess what? This guy was also working part-time, another maniac job. So eventually he was able to actually, survive the whole drama, and he was able to actually do well. And like you also said, okay, because you know where you are going to, that voice spoke to you to say, Nolan, is this where you want to spend the rest of your life? Immediately you said no. Immediately you have to do something about it. Immediately you have to go the extra mile at working shift and working till late at night and also study. And you already have that goal in your mind to say, hey, I need to get certified in this, I need to get that. The same thing applied to me. When I was in the UK, I was actually shuffling 2 countries together. I was shuffling Scotland and England. Okay? I would work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Scotland. Night of Friday, I will not go home. I will move straight to England to go and do another job. Simply because of what? I was targeting the same SAP that we are targeting. Because SAP, very, very expensive to get. And where you do the certification to are very limited. They are not just everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So why I'm sharing this bit of story, which aligns with what you've actually mentioned earlier on, is that irrespective of your condition, if you fail, failure, at the end of failure is success. Failure only happens when you quit. But in as much as you are not ready to quit, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so what that speaks to is that you need to take the bull by the horn. When life attacks you, okay, learn from those mistakes and you get better off. Okay, because that is the most important thing. And know that you must find that place inside of yourself where nothing is impossible, like Nolan will always say, you know. So it is so crucial. Okay, so that's just one important thing I would like to say. So now for Nolan, I would love to ask you a question a bit.
Yeah.
When it comes to business in itself, okay, you know, so many people are going through tough times right now because of COVID. You know, it came in, attacked the norm. People that were sort of averagely doing okay were pushed backward like 10 years. People that were in the middle are now average. People that were rich are now average. So many of them are already losing hope, and so many of them are already considering probably suicide and some other nasty things. So what advice will you have to them if they have the opportunity to see this video? What advice would you have for them in terms of their business, their psyche, and their mindset as well?
So one key of a bit of advice I can give everyone is that don't see COVID as a bad thing, right? And I'll explain shortly why. So far too often people realize that something bad happens and more bad and more bad and more bad will happen all the time. Remember, there's a law. For every good or for every bad, there's a good. For every negative, there's a positive. So you need to stick it out and push forward. Do not stop. So I'm going to give you my example. Last year, June, I left the corporate world. And one of the reasons why I left the corporate world was because humanity was failing the company I was working in. And I was affected personally. And that's when I decided to quit. Now, here's the thing. When I quit, I was earning a good salary. I was traveling twice a month internationally. I was meeting new people. I was doing extremely well. Now, I call this my beautiful destruction. Because listen to this. If I didn't go through that bad humanity experience, do you think I would be where I am today, a year later? No ways. So in order for you to elevate yourself in life, you are going to go through bad patches. Remember, life is not just a straight line. There's valleys we have to go down. There's hills that we have to climb. So there's always an up and down in life. You need to be resilient enough. You need to train your mind to be resilient enough to bounce back from anything. Now, when I bounced back last year, June, I could have just lost everything and my life could have ended. When I decided to quit, I said, so I just want to go back a step. Straight Talk with Nolan started in 2015, but I did not do anything at all with it up until June 2019 because I was too comfortable doing what I'm doing. So when I went through this beautiful destruction, I started focusing heavily on the company and I started building myself. I can tell you, Mobology, the COVID since March in South Africa has been one of the best periods in my personal career. Why? I didn't sit back. I didn't allow fear to get ahead of me. I didn't procrastinate. I did things that could help me elevate to the balance of the year and into 2021. So the key is, don't sit back and think that COVID is here, your life ends. Remember what I said, life does not have to end where you are. You owe it to yourself. Just be resilient enough, be strong, and use it as an opportunity to pause and reevaluate your business. If you have a business and you feel your business is going down, etc., reevaluate your business, re-strategize. Look at other ways where you can improve your business. There are always ideas out there. You just need to look deeper into it. Now, nobody else can do this for you except you, because you know why you started your business. You may come to a point where you realize now, hey, but this is not the business that I want to be in. Now, this allows you the opportunity to go and do something that can make your life more purposeful, which is your dreams, your fantasies. You can bring all of that alive now. The fact that you started a business and you're afraid that it's going down shows that you are business minded and you can do so much more better. So hang in there, re-strategize, re-evaluate, and come back stronger than ever. I can tell you now, there's so many people that I've been speaking to that had similar situations in the last few months. But now if you speak to them, man, they are like on an up game. But do not forget, life is not meant to be a straight line. Life is meant to be ups and downs. If it was straight, we'd have a perfect world. We'll have too many rich people. Life teaches us these up and down hills for a reason.
Yeah. So what said, life is never a straight line. It's all about ups and downs, and try to enjoy the journey, because the mistakes you make are going to be one of your best teachers. Okay, so those are very, very powerful words. And I also hear the aspect of you diving into self-development. So if you are to sort of recommend books or depository of knowledge, what will you suggest? But before you go into that, okay, I also like to actually, echo what you mentioned earlier on. When you talk about re-evaluation and all that, like it's more like, when we were talking backstage before we came live, I told you that like for almost 3 years or 4 years, I've been talking about you working smart and very hard, leveraging the digital space. If not for the digital space, there is no way myself and Nolan will be sharing our worlds with the entire world, getting up to Africa and probably the rest of the world. Okay, I've been preaching this and pushing this around. From the early stage, people are like, "What's wrong with Mobalaji? What's he talking about?" I would just use my mobile phone and I'll just start saying blah 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 stuff. But when COVID came in, people started reaching out to me saying, "Hey, did you see this? Did you foresee that this is going to happen? Is that part of the reason you've been preaching to say, move your passion online, digitize your passion, talk about the benefits, give value, leverage social media?" It's more like how we were talking the other time, and Nolan, you mentioned that, oh, I usually see room, but I don't know how to leverage it. You understand what I mean? So there's so much tool and power when it comes to the digital space and the social media space, whereby you can use it to heal the world. I understand that so many people are using it for negativities, but you can decide to choose and use it for positivity. It's more like when you go into a supermarket, there is the bad product and there is the good product. Simply because you've gone into the supermarket doesn't mean you are bad. No, you only go to the side of the good products and you pick it and you pay and you leave. Okay, it's the same way that you need to restructure your brain. Don't be on the bad side. Don't be in the dark side. Come into the light. Reevaluate yourself. Restructure yourself. Ask yourself questions. Those are very, very important things, because what triggered the change for Nolan from a story that he has mentioned is that voice that came in. And that voice was like, Nolan, Is this how you want to spend the rest of your life? That was a powerful question.
Yeah.
And immediately, Nolan did not only respond by words, he responded with action, with positivity, with focus, with determination, with creativity, and understanding within his set of mind that life is never a straight line. Life is up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so what that means is that even for your own business, same thing will apply. COVID can come, people are cashing out because of COVID. So every negative, see 4 positive.
Yeah.
So every challenge, see 5 opportunities. So once you ask yourself these questions, okay, everything will come to play. Like Nolan also mentioned, okay, it was when he left the corporate world, he saw the bigger light. And now he's living his life, he's living his passion, and he's enjoying and he's happy doing what he's doing. Okay, so these are part of the things that you can actually imbibe into your passion, your project, your business. If your business is going south, okay, you need to restructure. You need to ask yourself questions. Is it that you need to change your product? Is it that you need to change your approach? Is it that you need to talk more about the benefit? Is it that you need to downsize the price of your product? Is it that the environment you are in? There are so many factors, both micro and macro, that can actually affect what's currently happening, around your space. Okay, so going back to you, Nolan, I know what you feed on now most of the time outside Impact for Humanity is self-development, and I've seen tons and tons and tons and tons of books and self-development sessions that you've actually participated in. So if you had to pick your top 3, I know it's going to be a tough one for you. If you had to pick your top 3, okay, what books or what knowledge depository will you recommend for the average African and individual out there?
So before I go to the book, I just want to mention one thing about the negative. I like the point that you mentioned. So what I tend to do even now is, remember, we all have negative thoughts, right? We have about 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 90% of those thoughts are negative. So what I tend to do now is I write down the negative when I experience it, and I write 5 positive thoughts that can counter that.
Wow.
Right? So by you doing this, you're training your mind. So let's go back to a business, and congratulations to you for stepping up during COVID and moving more into the digital world. That's powerful. So that's a good example that people can use to see what you did differently. You reevaluated. So if you look at a business, for example, your business is going down, put that as a negative and write down 5 things that you can do to offset this negative. The moment you start doing this, you're going to come up with thoughts and creative ideas that will help you, right? So I focus a lot on personal mastery. Personal mastery is more about understanding myself. Remember, we learn on a daily basis, right? We can never learn enough about ourselves. So I keep learning. I'm involved with Mindvalley. Mindvalley is based in the US. I was asked at the beginning of COVID, in fact, to be an ambassador with them, and I am an ambassador. So I do various programs with them, and all the programs I do is about self-development, personal mastery. But if I have to give you a book, it's this book here, Autobiography of a Yogi.
Okay, self-realization fellowship. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that's it.
It's self-realization fellowship, right? So this is going to allow you to understand yourself better. And when you start understanding yourself better, you're going to realize how creative you are. You remember I said we have unlimited potential, but we're not tapping into that unlimited potential. We have it. The other book is by Napoleon Hill. It's called Think and Grow Rich. You would have seen this, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can see.
Why I say this book, when you read a book like this, I don't want you to think of richness as in money. That's where we go wrong. You're not going to become a billionaire overnight. When I think of richness, I think of abundance. When I see abundance, I see an abundance of air, for example, an abundance of tree, an abundance of opportunities, an abundance of entrepreneurship opportunities out there. an abundance of connections. There's so much more. And the reason why I say don't focus on the money now, when you start reevaluating yourself and finding your passion and what you want to do, you're going to see automatically the money will come in. But you got to find your purpose first. Don't just go and chase the money and think, okay, you can do trading with due respect to trading. You can do trading now and become an overnight rich person. Remember I said for every up, there's a down. This is the law. This is the law. And this is a fact. Think about how many people you know that could have won a lotto, for example. How long did that money last them? Not more than 6 months to a year, sometimes even less. So don't chase the money. Chase the value add that you can bring to a company or to a person. Always think that you want to leave somebody with an impression of increase. What that means is leave them feeling like a valued person. That's what it is. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's quite powerful. That's quite powerful. Don't focus on the money, focus on the impact. The more you focus on the impact, money will become a byproduct.
Exactly.
It's like, how will I put it? It's like the rain. If it rains a lot, then the sun comes out. What else do you see? You see the rainbow.
Yeah.
Not that you're actually focusing on the rainbow, but you're focusing on the rain. So try to shower enough value, enough positive impact on people, and what happens afterward is that money will just be part of the byproduct. Your happiness will become part of the byproduct. Your legacy will become part of the byproduct. And simply because your focus is not money, because trust me, when you make money your focus, when you make financial excitement your focus, you get distracted. Trust me when I say that. And Nolan knows what I'm talking about. So what you need to find out is discover your passion. Let me even throw this to Nolan. Nolan, how long did it take you to discover your passion?
Wow. So after I'd left the corporate world, I knew about my passion since 2015 when I started up my company. But I did nothing with it because I was too comfortable. But leading up to the 2015, I spent many, many years trying to understand myself and understanding me. If I didn't invest my time in understanding who I am as a person, I wouldn't be where I am. I would still be working in the corporate world, happy to pay for the boss's house or his car.
So I understand, yeah. So it is important. Like for me personally, I usually tell people, but they still find it so difficult to understand at times. It took me 4 years because, like Nola mentioned, I reevaluated, evaluated myself. Always talking to myself, thinking. You might just see me. I'm just staring into the air, but I'm actually reevaluating and seeing. And eventually, after 4 years, I was able to discover my passion, because my passion is to see other people succeed irrespective of their passion, the business, their project, leveraging the digital space. Because I know that is the cheapest way out. Okay? Because the world population is almost 8 to 9 billion. Okay? And 70 to 80 billion, 70 to 80% are on social media. So where then would you rather have you showcase your project, your mission, your business? So, and that is the part of what I strongly believe will be your way out to showcasing your business, your project, your passion to as many people as possible. Trust me, you are unique. Your uniqueness is what other people need. It is so crucial.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nolan, the other thing I want to ask you is this. You know, we've dealt with so many things, but that book, your top three books.
Can I just mention one thing on the previous topic, right?
Yeah.
So another thing,
go ahead.
When we talk about money, when people chase the money, this actually builds a competition amongst other people, and then it becomes a fight for the money. So remember, in life, we should not be in any competition with anyone else. The only competition you should be in is yourself. So when you see me talking about be the best version of yourself, every single day when I wake up in the morning, I want to be better than who I was yesterday. So my only competition is myself, no one else.
So exactly, and exactly the same thing that I usually say. If you want to be better than the second before, you've got to go beyond yourself. I don't say you have to go beyond others. No way. You got to go beyond yourself. It's you against you. Okay? So if you want a change, you have to work on yourself for that change. If you want things or whatever you want around you, be it micro or macro, to change, to step to a higher level, you've got to work on yourself towards stepping to a higher level, if you understand what I mean. And it's all about you becoming the best version of yourself when you go beyond yourself. So I'm sure some of you might be thinking, Nolan and Mobolaji, they have so much things in common.
Yeah.
But trust me, this is like two different journeys that sort of came to meet and realized that, oh, we are more like twins. We've been doing the same thing, but we're just not so focusing on each other. But now that we decided to leverage the digital space to share our message with the entire world, you can see how positivity connects. Like attracts like.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So, Nolan, your top 3 books before we call it a wrap.
So it was Autobiography of a Yogi, Think and Grow Rich, and another one
Okay.
that I'm well, I wouldn't say it's my top 3, but I'm really enjoying it.
I know it's going to be a tough one. I know it's going to be a tough one. I know it's going to be a tough one. I know it's going to be a tough one.
No. So
I know it's going to be a tough one.
yeah. So I'm enjoying this book here. It's called TED Talks.
Okay.
Now the reason why
TED Talks.
Yeah, TED Talks. The reason why I'm rating this as one of my top 3 is because with this book here, it's allowed me to be vocal and to speak the way that I do speak now. I mean, if you remember a few years back, Mobalaji, when I spoke, I wasn't as in tune the way I am now. I wasn't so vocal, right? So you see the difference now.
Sure.
So that's why I rate it as top 3, because you got to work on yourself to get to this point here. And it does take work. And the other one is, it's not a book, but I've done a program with Lisa Nichols. I'm sure you know her.
Okay, yeah.
So Lisa Nichols, her program was called Speak and Inspire. And it's a 30-day program. So when I did that program, I realized at that stage that, hey, I'm not only an inspirational speaker, I'm actually a transformational speaker and a transformational coach. The moment I realized that, it allowed me to start following this route of my journey as well, and therefore sharing the story with you today.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's amazing. So
awesome.
Read books on self-development. To everyone watching, focus on self-development books. It really is important. Watch some motivational videos. Work on yourself. In other words.
Yeah. So basically, because like something that I actually went through today, probably let me see if I can look it up. Just hold on for a second. It says, I hope I'll be able to see it on time. You have to make sure you are the attractive character of your journey. Okay, don't outsource it. So everything that Nolan has been sharing is work on yourself.
Yeah.
Don't outsource that aspect. That aspect, it's yours alone to hold, mold, shape, and protect. Okay, once you work on yourself, that becomes the attractive character of the journey. If you look at Oprah, she's the attractive character. If you look at Bill Gates, he's the attractive character of his journey. If you look at Mark Zuckerberg, he's the attractive character. If you look at Obama, Nelson Mandela, just name them, they are the attractive character. But trust me, when you table them before your eyes, they are on different journeys. They are on different missions, but they are the attractive character. So for you to become the attractive character of your own journey, you need to make sure that you work on yourself. Self-development, get coach, get mentors, spend on yourself, invest in yourself. You might not see them physically, but what they will cause as an impact to you are priceless. Because I see so many people, they reach out to me to say, hey, Mobolaji, you have changed. Mobolaji, something is different about you. And when I tell people that you can actually get better than what I am right now. They say, no, I can't, but no, I can't do it. But it is because of the mindset. But in as much as you believe that you can work in yourself, you can invest in yourself, the sky becomes a stepping stone, if you understand what I mean. Nolan.
Absolutely. That's what it's about, right? You there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know what? The biggest gift you can give yourself is to work on yourself. Nobody else is going to come and do the work for you. So another thing I want you to think about, right? When I say work on yourself, think about this. We all take a shower every day. We put on a nice shirt. We dress up nice, etc. Right? So we're looking good on the outside. What about cleansing the inside? What about focusing on the inside, which is your mindset, your thoughts, just your internal body, exercise, being healthy, etc. We live in a generation now where health has become a #1 topic, and people need to be focusing on it. The stats are there's so many people that are passing on through heart attacks and stuff, and I'm not talking about people that are old, people that are very, very young. So all of this takes working on yourself. There's a program I'm doing now which is called Longevity. Longevity is all about living long in a healthy way, in a fit way, and also looking good. Mobology, in your 60s, what do you want to be doing? You want to be touring the world, going and adding value to people's lives, speaking at different places throughout the world and sharing your journey. This is what it really is about. Look after yourself. You only have one body, one mind, one heart. Look after it, my friends.
Yeah. And you know something, actually, you know, when we spoke backstage, you know what came to my mind? I just got not really like a vision, but it's just like a thought that there's a high likelihood that I might even be on stage with Nolan sometime in the nearest future in South Africa, whereby I'll be sharing some value, we'll be sharing values to some audience. It just occurred like you know, that second vision, or I don't know. So if this happens, we're going to share this video again with them to say, hey, so many years ago or so many months ago, we actually spoke about this. We didn't know if it's going to work, but here we are. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I like what you said, right? So to the viewers out there, there's another thing I want to mention to you. A lot of you, or a lot of us at one point, we always felt that when we're chasing after our goals, whenever we see this very big goal, we worry how we're going to reach it. Don't worry about the how, my friends. Worry about why you want to reach the goal. The how will automatically happen. The moment you start focusing on how, you're going to procrastinate, fear is going to eat you, and it's going to push you back into your comfort zone. Forget about the how. Just think of it. So can I share my big vision, my big goal with you guys?
Yeah. I was about to ask that as well. That would be my rounding question. So what next for Nolan? What's your big goal?
Okay, so this is my goal card. I carry this every single day with me in my pocket. The reason being is I want to be reminded about my goals every single time I put my hands into my pocket. So my main goal, I'm so happy and grateful now that Straight Talk with Nolan is live on air and online. This was a goal that was written, what, a year ago? Look at where Straight Talk with Nolan now. It's on air. I'm not, sorry, it's online, but I'm not on air as yet. On air meaning a TV series. And I'm going to have my own TV series. I don't know how it's going to get done, but I know why I want to do it.
Sure.
And that's to touch life.
Okay, so so that's so powerful. Don't worry about the how, but focus on the why.
Yeah.
So when you focus on the why, the how will reveal itself to you. So that's the powerful one right there. So Nolan, any last word? Because we passed 1 hour now. So we can talk. We can keep talking.
Yeah.
I never get bored, but you know, so that we can manage the audience as well. So, any last word?
Yeah. So before, so the key word for me is always life doesn't have to end where you are. So because of social media, and I see this every single day on social media, people use like a filter system, for example. Why? To look more prettier, to look like this person, etc. Don't try to be somebody else. Remember, I said you are unique, you are the best version of yourself. So do not try to be anybody else. Your competition is yourself, right? Don't worry about chasing the likes on Facebook or the comments, etc. Understand why you want to do what you are doing. Be you for you. And then lastly, we're climbing mountains in our life, right? Remember, mountains go up and down. So when you're going on a bad patch, be resilient enough, take some time off, deal with the issue that you at hand, be it a passing of a loved one or a downward spiral, whatever it is, and then bounce back and move again. I've seen that many times, and I've bounced back. If you're looking for really good coaching and mentoring, Mobology is really somebody who's, in my opinion, and I know I've seen his growth. And when I look at him now, man, this guy has grown so much, it's unbelievable. So if you're in Africa in general, get in touch with Mobology or get in touch with me. We're ever so happy to help anyone. The reason why we want to help you is because we want to add value to your life and help you be the best version of yourself. So thank you, Mobology, for this opportunity.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I think it's actually the other way around, you know, because you've shared so much, tons of priceless nuggets, you know, wisdom, insights, knowledge, and all that. Because Nolan has been someone that I look up to, Nolan and his wife Sima, and I've seen their dedication, as I've seen their pure heart. I didn't know that it was channeling towards authenticity, but they were just people I want to be around with. You know, we talk, we engage, we are open when it comes to our discussion, and Nolan has really grown. You know, especially when I saw his vision to help girls out, to raise some important, how will I put it, some important needs for girls, and decided to embark on a journey to a mountain. I didn't even know it was Kilimanjaro. I was just scared for him that I hope Nolan would get home back safe and all that. And he was able to achieve this.
Yeah.
He was able to achieve this. So, and this is part of what I usually say, you know, when you want to become a better version of yourself, when you want to be, you know, a better version of who you are, you got to go the extra mile. You got to go beyond yourself. So thank you so much, Nolan, for inspiring me, inspiring South Africa, inspiring us in Nigeria as well, inspiring the world, because Africa, here we come, okay, and the world, here we come. So if you can have as many people wanting to give more values, wanting to impact life like Nolan, the world is definitely going to be healthier. The world is going to be prettier. The world is going to be full of more positivities than negativities. Because if you tune into TV now, negative. That's what sells. But from Nolan's perspective, from my perspective, we are trying to change the perspective. We are trying to change the norm. The norm is not the negativity. The positivity is the norm. So that is what we are trying to change. So I know it's a long journey. It's a high mountain to climb, but everything starts with the first step when you become a better version of yourself at going beyond yourself. So thank you so much, Nolan. Thank you once again. My regards to Sima. How is she doing?
She's good. I see there's some comments there. The one from Paula, which says the biggest gift to self is to work on self. 100%, Paula. There's nothing better than that. And also write out your goals, right? It's very important. When you write it out, it adds more value than just keeping it into your mind. And then Sima says, great discussion, Mobology and Nolan, such value-add contents. And also from Saloshni Woodley, thank you both for your valuable wisdom and knowledge. It's only our pleasure, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. So if you've seen value in this, okay, like, comment, and share to the world. The world needs to access this positivity. The world needs to be healed of negativity. The world needs enough of positivity, especially now that COVID is around. Okay, so many people are going through so many tough times. So many people are going through so much distraction. So many people, even might want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
You might feel it can't be that bad, but trust me, it can be that bad. So if you've seen value in what Nolan has shared, hit the like button, hit the love button, share, comment, and let's see if you want us to come up again together and probably talking about a new topic entirely. We'll be more than happy to actually help you guys out. Okay, so thank you so much for inspiring me, Nolan, personally. Thank you for inspiring the world, and we'll be talking behind the scene.
Great. Thank you so much, Mobology, for this opportunity.
Yeah,
Well done. Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.